Hi there, I am Nancy Buck with ClarityQuestLifeCoaching. When I launched my life coaching practice, I had a lot of people congratulate me on my new career venture. And then I'd hear, yeah, but what does a life coach really do, Nan? So I put together a short video that talks about why one would hire a life coach because people are clamoring to make change in their life. So the industry is booming, and it might be helpful to put this out there in case you're wondering. There are really many reasons that one might seek the help of a life coach, but basically it boils down to, do you feel you need or want to make change in your life, but you just can't seem to get there? Many people find themselves feeling lost. They might be struggling with feelings of doubt. Sometimes it's just a feeling of being stuck and not knowing how to move forward. And some people find that they just don't follow through and they never meet their goals, and they're constantly frustrated with the inability to finish what they start. In some cases, there's a feeling that there's never enough time. Deadlines won't be met. It creates stress or an anxiousness that just won't go away. It's kind of a heavy burden to carry with you. And it comes down often to a feeling that we know something needs to change, but we just can't quite put our finger on what it is or how we go about getting there. Life is full of things that we need to do. We often get so caught up that we don't check in with ourselves to see how things are going and if we're meeting our own personal goals and ambitions. If you have a general feeling that life's just not what you want it to be, something feels off balance or out of sync, a life coach can definitely help. But we can talk all day long about the wanting change, but what motivates people to actually make change happen? There's a degree of emotional pain that goes along with being in a place in life where you don't feel fulfilled or in control. It might be coming from others being judgmental, or maybe you're your own worst critic. Either way, it's a dark place in your psyche that isn't a pleasant space to be in. There's frustration when things aren't going as planned, or you're not where you think you should be in life. How many times do you need to look at a pile of papers or the piles of papers or how many times do you need to go to work thinking, "Oh, I just have to find a new job," but you never really address these things and they just keep festering. Oftentimes people just get to a place where they say enough, and it's not psychological therapy that's needed. You just need a plan and somebody to come alongside you to help bring it into focus and make it happen. A life coach can be a great accountability partner as you move through change. You're not alone. If you have areas of your life that you feel frustrated with, that cause you angst, stress, and anxiety, take a moment and reflect on your own situation. What is the one thing you would love to change, but you just haven't mastered the new behaviors that would be needed? Or it just feels so daunting to get started that you just never do. I wouldn't recommend waiting until it's so bad that it becomes paralyzing or even causes you to feel ill when you think about it. But ask yourself, at what point will it feel bad enough to actually do something about it? And maybe it's really not about things being bad. It could be that you just think it's time to make some meaningful change that you haven't quite defined. And if you've reached that place where you want to be different and have your life be different, hiring a life coach can help you sort it all out, put some structure to it, and help you identify what might be getting in your way. The most important thing is you really need to commit to doing the work that accomplishes the change you're looking for if you hire a life coach. I can't tell you how many times I've encountered individuals who say they want the change, they apply themselves for a couple of weeks, and then they peter out and go back to their old habits. These old habits are insidious, so I have techniques that prevent that from happening because, quite frankly, it's a whole lot more fun to work with somebody who's able to make the permanent changes from our work together. And we're not talking about a lifetime commitment here. Your coaching program could be one meeting and you're off and running. I'd say most people can start seeing real movement within 1 to 3 months with a periodic meeting schedule with their coach. Some might take longer, and some people just like having that sounding board available to them, so they might sign up for a longer program. Understand that most life coaches have a niche or a specialty focus. In my particular practice, I have two. One is helping people achieve breakthroughs where they just feel stuck in life, which is typically caused by procrastination, fear, and maybe just a feeling of overwhelm. My second is a career coaching offering, which includes assessing your career match, what's best for you, and subsequently preparing a focused base resume for you that you can post online, and I'll teach you how to post that so that it will actually be seen, and working with my clients through the interview process. So depending on what you're looking for, you'll want to find somebody who serves your area of need. If you really believe it's time for something to change, then here's what I suggest. A good coach will offer a complimentary introduction where there's no fee, and the coach can gather information for what your need is and then be able to share what their basic approach to a coaching program for you would look like. Course, there is the elephant in the room. Yes, if you move forward, there will be a cost associated. This is one of those areas that people hesitate to spend money on because they think they can do it themselves. And my response to that is, well, so how's that working for you? Because chances are high that it's not. So you just have to evaluate if it's worth it to invest in actually getting to a place of true change. Only you can decide if it's worth the financial investment to hire a coach to help. If you have something that you've been talking about doing or changing for a long time, ask yourself if you really believe you'll address it, or will you keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off? You've got one life. Why not live it the way you want it to be and not spend it thinking about how it could be if? I'll suggest also that if you want to conserve on finances, one way to minimize the cost of getting some coaching is to take advantage of workshops. Most coaches offer those for people on a tighter budget. If you're comfortable sharing in front of others, this may be the right solution for you. Bottom line is, it's time to be intentional. You've watched this video for a reason, so I'm guessing something about your life is just not where you want it to be. And that's okay. None of us is perfect. And as they say, life is a process, not an event. I'm just an advocate for pushing through that which needs to change now versus putting it off for later, because later really never comes. What do you have to lose by having an initial meeting with somebody who can help you make the change that you need? Start your Clarity Quest right now. I'd love to meet you. You'll walk away from an introductory meeting with me having a better sense for what your tailored coaching program would look like. I do hope this has been helpful as an intro, and I really hope you'll explore how this kind of support from a life coach can change your life. Thank you, and please share this to your connections, because I'm sure that they could each find one good reason to work with a life coach themselves, and you might be presenting them with something that they need right now in their own lives.